again, I wanted to thank you very much for doing this with us, and just asking you a little bit about your experience with working with us and
Sure.
and the
You bet.
process of your kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, for sure.
So, tell me a little bit about your kitchen cabinets prior to giving us a call and why you gave us a call in the first place.
Yeah, they're original from the house being built in 1995 and just getting a little dated again, the oak, the darker oak. But it was time, and we started with a bit of a renovation idea, and that was part of it.
Okay.
We got in a contractor. His estimate was super high, so we kind of decided to cut back a little bit, but we really wanted the kitchen done. We started doing it on our own, sort of thing, going around, shopping around at cabinet places. Mm-hmm. And the suggestion was replace your cabinets, get them modern. Okay. One of the girls at Kitchen Craft, I think, or one of the companies, regardless, mentioned your company name and said, get an estimate. You'll save at least half or better. So we called Dan. He came in like over the phone. We started with the estimate sort of thing, roughly, because he didn't know the size, sent pictures, so on. And then Dan came and did the estimate, and we were happy with it. And we added a few more rooms, if and but sort of thing, if we did this room and this patching and stuff like that. So Dan quoted on everything, and we just settled on doing everything that we had listed. The guys came in, just super good staff. You've got really good people working for you. Trust them. Just, yes, yes, yes. Everything you asked, they could do, sort of thing. It was just super working with them. So when it was finally done, we just loved the color, our kitchen cabinets, the color, the countertops we had replaced. We were able to keep the backsplash, not knowing how it will blend in, but everything worked out perfect. So we're really, really pleased with everything. It's modern now is the big thing, that it doesn't look like the 1990s. You go into our neighbors and that's the first thing you notice. It's still dated and stuff like that. So as they visit, sort of thing, they ooh and ah sort of thing, and they really like it. So it's good.
Oh, that you know what? That's wonderful. I mean, I know that we completed the project for you shortly before Christmas, and the goal was to have it done for you before the holidays, and that was something that we were definitely working towards. You definitely have a big kitchen and lots of pieces and so your biggest frustration when you were trying to solve the choice of doing a renovation or tearing out and starting all over again, was there a really big difference between?
Well, we had done a renovation about 12 years ago where we did all the floors. Took out the carpets and put in bamboo and ceramic tile in the back entrance and the kitchen. And we wanted to keep it, sort of thing, because it's expensive. And so everything got to go with that so it flows. Everything matched perfectly, sort of thing. We weren't sure of what color to go exactly on the kitchen cabinets, but it turned out we used this espresso, and it's just beautiful. They really pleased.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So the frustration, was getting a serious offer. We'd have a contractor come in. We only had one, but he came in and, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Well, we can do that ourselves. Like, why can't you do that? And when his estimate came in, it was just like he sent us the estimate 3 weeks late. He never followed up at all, ever to this day. The price was double to what I expected. But if he would have explained, it's like buying a new car. You don't know they're $80,000, but explain why. Nothing. No callbacks, no nothing. Again, with color scheme, Dan, yourself, the guys are on the ball. They can tell you everything as you go, sort of thing. Any questions, it's a phone call, an email, you get a quick reply, sort of thing. And it's always yes. So it worked out well. Yeah.
Well, thank you. You know what? We really do our best to give lots of options to customers. And it is such a personal choice when you are deciding to do, a massive renovation, whether it is painting or doing a major overhaul. And it is up to the customer, regardless of what the contractor or the painter thinks. It's up to you. It's a personal choice. So you really glad.
Yeah, you have a vision and you want somebody to see that and work with. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So I know you've already touched base on this a little bit already, but what did you find different about what we did compared to maybe this other I mean, clearly there is a bit of a difference. You've already mentioned that, but
Yeah, yeah.
what did you find the biggest difference working
We
with
set up a
us?
schedule. Everything's on time, exactly when you guys say you'll come. Your guys will be there at 9 a.m. They're there at 9 a.m. When Dan shows up, he shows up on time. When you need a reply or anything, we just call or email you in the office, Tricia, or Dan, and we get a quick answer sort of thing. Again, our
Right.
past experience was some of them just spend your money and don't call you back, or some of them, I don't know if they just don't need the work anymore. They're so busy renovators that they don't call you back. But some of them, it's,
Well,
yeah.
well, and that's unfortunate because I know that especially over the past couple of years with the pandemic and
Yeah.
a lot of the construction industry has been really busy but obviously it's very important that there's a connection, there's contact, especially whether too busy or not. So I'm really glad
Yeah.
that you've been happy with
And
that.
it
So
was that, yeah. Sorry to interrupt, Tricia, but
no, no,
the renovation guy did come over. We walked him through the whole thing we wanted. We wanted some floating shelves. He says, "No, I don't do floating shelves. No, you can't," and this and that. We can do them. It's just like,
yeah,
okay, give us some options. But when the quote comes, it's everything bunched together. We pull permits ourselves. We do the demolition. It's just like it was just all over the place. We weren't sure what the
right.
final number would have been. We weren't sure when he could do it, and no callback. We thought, within a couple weeks, give us time to digest it. You'd call and explain. Nothing. No callbacks, anything. Your company is
Wow.
just on the ball. Dan's great to work with, sort of thing, very personal. And the guys, that come out, it's almost like they own the company. They explain everything. They look after your home because it's a big investment, taking their shoes
Yeah.
off, all the little stuff sort of thing. Just
Yeah.
great guys to work with sort of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've been really lucky. Igor and Jazz have, that we've definitely trained them, worked with them, because it is such an important part of the job. When you're working in somebody's home, it is a huge amount of respect that
Yeah.
we hope that they're going to show to you.
Yeah.
And they do have so much pride because,
Yeah.
they've, with you and some of our other customers, they've seen that, massive difference in going from a kitchen. You're right, like maybe a little bit nothing wrong with it, but outdated,
Yeah.
and they bring it modern, and there's so much pride in what they do, and you
Yeah.
see that when you work with them as well.
Yeah. And the prep work and everything is just ideal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially because you're living in the home when they're doing the work, they really want to make sure that when they come at the beginning every day, they set up. And when they leave at the end of the day, yes, you may not be able to use your kitchen for those couple of days when they're on site, but they are, they're cleaning up after themselves, and you're able to still work within, your home and not have to worry about tracking dust and everything like that. So that's important. Good. Now, you mentioned that some of your friends in the neighborhood have been by, and so what's their reaction been like seeing it, or your family and friends?
They can't believe the makeover sort of thing. It's so drastically different. And
Yeah.
the one neighbor across the street sort of thing, he's got to do his slowly. He's got everything. He's got the flooring. His house is built in the 90s, again, same as ours, and nothing's been touched. He just bought it a few years ago. So he's kind of overwhelmed. He hasn't done a thing yet, but he knows what he has to do, and he's getting ideas from us. And he's saying, just little things that he notices in our house. That's what I want to do. Now I know it'll work, sort of thing. Even transition from tile to hardwood, things like that, or hardwood to hardwood, a little transition board. Just, and the cabinet colors and things like that. He's great with it, sort of thing. He loves it. One of the other neighbors, they just bought the house last September, and it was totally renovated when they moved in. But again, they appreciate what we've done, sort of thing, and that, and they like it too. So, yep, it's great. So.
Now, when you were looking, was it hard for you to decide, like, because there are so many choices that we offer for colors? Did you really struggle?
I was overwhelmed. Yeah, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Donna picked the color, sort of thing. Our idea was, our son built a house 5 years ago. He had the dark. It was the espresso, I would say, the same cabinet color, sort of thing. Now it's a modern house and everything. Is it going to go with ours? We didn't know, but that's the idea we had. And it just, went to Sherwin-Williams. and worked with your company sort of thing and that, and
Right.
got colors. We did the samples. So then we painted one of the old bathroom doors sort of thing, cabinet doors. Took that
Right.
to work with for our cabinet tops sort of thing, the countertops and things like that. So
Yeah.
it was kind of, and a piece of tile sort of thing, so we could see if everything would go together. And it did. It
Good.
worked out perfect. As it, because you're holding your breath for 3 days as they're painting, just not knowing
I
what's going to show
know.
up, how it's going to look.
I
Yeah.
know.
And it did come
Well,
together. We're very pleased. Yeah.
good. Now, something I want to talk to you about, because you and Donna were especially wonderful, because, you went from a much lighter color to a much darker color,
Yeah.
and we installed the cabinet pieces, and there was a couple issues, and there was a couple times where you could see the lighter color coming through the
Yeah,
dark.
it comes through the grain, and you can't see it unless you're on a
Yeah.
certain angle. When that
Right.
angle and the sun's coming in the window, just certain days, we could pick out
Right.
3 doors, or 2 doors that
Right.
just had that white showing, which is the primer, and
Right.
and we didn't know if that was to be expected or what was normal sort of thing. Do we expect that? So we'd call
Right.
your people, or if your guys were still there, no problem.
Right.
They'll talk to Dan. That day they take the doors off sort of thing. Is there any more? Yeah. Turned out there was another one or whatever. Took them back to your shop, came back perfect. So again, Igor reinstalled them and perfect. Then he
Yeah.
put all the cabinet, again, we changed the cabinet poles and that, and he installed all
Right.
that, put the little rubber bump stops in. So it's just perfect. Yep. Everything lined up great.
Well, and that was something that, obviously, I mean, our goal, and our goal is to make sure, we pick up the pieces, we reinstall
Yep.
them, and they look perfect and they're done,
Yep.
and you're 100% happy, but that doesn't always happen, obviously, and
Exactly.
we learned that in your case,
Yep.
and we really appreciated how incredibly patient you were with us, and you knowing that we were going to come, we were going to look after it,
Yeah.
we were going to make sure that they were done properly,
Yep.
and we weren't stopping until it was done properly for you. So we
Yep.
really appreciate your
Yep.
patience for that. And I've said that so many times, but what I really appreciate, or what we really appreciated, is the fact that you didn't doubt us. Like, you knew that we were going to fix it and make it right.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
there was no frustration. It didn't appear to be frustration on your part, maybe
No,
a little
never.
bit, but
Yep.
you were so patient with us, and we really appreciated that.
No,
So
it's
now,
yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So now, I don't know if it's you or Donna that does the cooking in the kitchen, but how do you feel about working in your kitchen now that it's all different and brand new?
It's very different. You're a little more
Yeah.
cautious, because of the new everything. You're wiping the
Yeah.
doors once in a while. There's a fingerprint
Yeah.
or whatever, but it's just,
Right.
it's still, we're in the break-in stage, I guess, sort of thing, of
Right.
the kitchen. So
Of
just get,
course.
but all the fit and finish, we did replace all the appliances. So then you do the appliances on top, and
Right.
Don's been decorating the rest of the house sort of thing and everything to go with it, pictures and
Hmm.
everything else. And then the little
Right.
pieces in the kitchen just pulls everything together, and it just looks great. So,
So my last question,
yep.
and I don't know if this is something you've thought about, because we have customers that sometimes are considering either tearing out and starting over, or
Yep.
repainting.
Yep.
And if you could give them a piece of advice on, now that you've been through it and you've gone through all the steps, you actually considered renovating, and then you
Yep.
chose to repaint. If you could give them a piece of advice
I would,
on,
yeah, I would say, if you are thinking of painting your cabinets, go to your website, go to Facebook, find a
Okay.
kitchen that looks like yours, and see what's possible.
Right.
Then it's a simple phone call to your office. Dan will come out and do the estimate, talk over the phone, send pictures, things like that. And then you get your rough estimate. But by all means, at least get an estimate, because it isn't,
yes.
it's a lot of money, but compared to renovating your whole kitchen, you could spend $50,000. So you can get away with a kind of a tenth of that sort of thing. It's amazing. The different,
Right.
right? And you can add a little bit more if you want the rest of the room painted, things like that. The guys just do a great job, to update everything. So, yeah.
Right, and I forgot we did that because I forgot actually because we did the
you did
kitchen
the
cabinets
back.
and then we did a little bit of wall painting as well. So
Yeah,
I
we did the
completely
back.
forgot that we did that. So yeah, that's something that we obviously can do for customers as well. So that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
exactly. Just to modernize everything. Like we did,
Right.
we painted the rest of the house ourselves, all the
Yeah.
bedroom, the living room, and all that. But your guys did the family room, or pardon me, the dining room, which had wallpaper, which was getting dated as everything was.
Yes.
And then they did the back entrance also. Turned out perfect.
Right.
Just,
Wonderful.
we do a lot of painting ourselves, everything and that, but it's just so nice to see a professional. They can do it so clean and so fast. The edging is just perfect, and that we take forever to edge that roof line and things like that. Come back.
Don't ask me to paint. I don't do the
Okay.
painting. That's why they do it. Yes, I'm good at giving you prices, but painting I don't do. So,
That's
well,
why they get
Ron,
jobs.
honestly, I can't thank you enough, and I really appreciate your time, and if there's anything in the future, any painting, interior, exterior, obviously we can look after that for you.
Exactly. I appreciate it.